the upper hand when it comes to videos because there's more
实
汗 than men. So girls,
Thank you, Rick.
yeah, so that's what I say to myself at night when I cannot sleep, and I think about how much more popular my sister is than I am. Yeah. So yeah, that's just.
So it keeps you up at night.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that's not keep me up at night. And I think it's also a sense of accomplishment to see my sister achieve these heights because it used to be just us, like a pair of siblings in our own bedrooms, making videos together, editing, staying up late. And now we have our own audience, and she has her own interests and her own audience and things that she set out to do. By the way, she has her own channel now called D-May. So if you're interested in my sister, go follow her on her channel. So it also gives me a sense of accomplishment.
Right. What do you plan to do? At the end of the year now, 2018. What does it look like for you now? What does 2018 hold in store for you? And also in the future, what do you think the future of YouTube and the future of English education? Some trends that you've observed.
So to answer the first question would be what's going to happen in 2018. 2018 January will be it marks the 3rd anniversary of our channel. So we will have maybe an event that celebrates that. I think we'll sell some merchandise, and we would have like a special edition magazine to give out to people, and we'll have a special Q&A video up on our channel. That's going to happen in the near future in January. But as a whole, next year, I think there's two primary goals for us. The first one is to really reinforce our inner circle, which means our fans, people that like us for our content, because our most valid business model is through the paid subscription model. It's on the platform PressPlay. This is where fans, they donate certain amounts of money to us every month so that we can keep running, because we're a team now, we're a business, we have a company. We actually have a bare minimum of that's $500,000 that we have to earn every month to keep us running. So we get the bulk of our income from PressPlay. So that's definitely something that we'll continue doing in the next year. That's the inner circle. And the second goal would be the outer circle. We want to create something for the general audience. It could be an app, it could be a magazine, it could be a book, it could be anything that's related to English learning, but I want to make it like fun. That's the core of our channel. I want to make it fun, to make people interested in this method. So that's what we want to do in the next year, but we're not sure how it's going to play out.
I see.
So that's the first question. The second question is, what does the future hold for multimedia learning? I think this right here is kind of what the future looks like, because we're using different platforms and methods to learn English. We didn't have this when we were students. We didn't have a streaming platform where we can hop on whenever and get credit, right? Can students get credit from?
Yes, they can get points which could later transfer into credits.
Right. So I think in the future, the internet is going to be more and more widespread, and mobile devices, we already have them prevalent in our everyday life. So when you combine them together, it makes you kind of receptive to a lot of the things that's happening in the world. So learning is going to be more focused on the content and not just the location. In the past, learning is focused, it's limited to the time and the place. So you have to be in a certain classroom at a certain time to get the lecture. But now, with streaming, with the internet, with cell phones, you don't have to be bound by time and place. So you can learn anywhere, at any time you please. You can start at your own pace. You can find materials that's most suited to your level. I think that's the future of multimedia education. So what we can do now is to really sharpen our minds so that we can fit into that model. What I mean is, we need to get into the self-learning mindset. we need to stop thinking about, we're going to go to a class and we're going to get this credit, and when that class is over, we wrap it up. We need to think about how we can continue to learn in our everyday lives. With every message that we click on, with every video that we consume, we need to think about learning. Because in the future, learning is not going to be bound in classroom. So when it's outside of the classroom, your advantage comes from your everyday life. How much time are you investing in yourself compared to others? So it's not just within the classroom, but when it's your off time, when it's your leisure time, how do you find a way to keep that input coming? So I think that's already happening now. For example, right now we have the stream, and students can also choose to go home and rewatch that stream.
Yes. And
we have a lot of online courses. We have a lot of massively open online MOOCs.
MOOCs, yes.
Right. We have open colleges, universities. So with the advent of the multimedia age and education, we cannot stop that. The only thing we can change is our own mindsets and how we embrace that. Only when we do that can we follow the trend and become, go and rise up to the top. Yeah.
As students and as educators.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Any more questions? Any more questions? We're almost at the end of our live broadcast.
Xu Weizhi asks.
Weizhi, yes.
Can you recommend some magazines for English learning?
Magazines for English learning.
Actually, we publish like a magazine every month. If you subscribe to our Press Play project, you get a magazine every month, which covers, okay, I'm not going to talk more about that because that would seem like a commercial now, but magazine-wise, I would...
What do you like to read?
I read more, I'm more into internet articles, because they're free, you don't have to pay. But if you have to pay for a magazine, right?
Some have paywalls.
Oh yeah, some have paywalls, true.
Yeah.
If you like reading magazines, I think your best bet would be to go to a bookstore, just flip through some, and find something that you can take. For example, if it were me,
what did you read?
I read Reader's Digest.
Yes, my father and we also read Reader's Digest.
Right, I'm really fond of that book. Right.
Yeah, very small, very easy to carry. Yeah. Portable, yes.
And the content, it's light. It's light reading.
Lots of jokes.
Lots of jokes.
Short stories.
Stories. And I think it's more. It's more of a personal choice.
Yes.
Because some people they like to read international news,
business, fashion.
Yeah. So it's more attuned to what you like, and it kind of goes back to the point where I just made. It's a perseverance. So people can tell you, oh, this is the greatest. This is the best way. And if you do this, if you buy this magazine, you will see the most effect. But that's not true for every individual. No. So what's true for you is your own preference. So if you look at a magazine, even if people hate it, if you look at it and you think, oh, this is something that I can keep reading for a year, then this is the magazine for you. So you alone is the best judge for yourself. Okay. And you can consider buying my magazine too if you so inclined. Okay, any more?
Most of the comments.
Okay, so this concludes, I think, our live broadcast. Is there anything you'd like to say, Ray?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. So everyone, we will have our final review of our live broadcast for this semester next week. You can tune in then.
This is the last one?
No, they'll be the last guest.
Oh, last guest. Okay.
So next week we will have a review and we'll talk about, we'll synthesize and review. Okay, so thank you all so much for watching our live broadcast. We hit our new high today.
67 or 8? Something.
Yes, of people who are watching the live broadcast. Yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. Thank you again, Ray, for being with us today. So I'll see you all next week. Thank you all very much. Bye-bye.
See ya.